Well, hello and welcome to Botalks, my favorite part of the week.
Yeah, mine too. I've been looking forward to it.
It's awesome that today we get to talk about one of my favorite celebrities of all time, 16-year-old me, favorite of all time, Keira Knightley.
Tell me why was Keira your favorite when you were 16? I'd like to hear that.
I remember, so I was 16 years old when Pirates 1 came out.
Right.
And anybody that was alive at that time, just and kind of in that demographic, that movie like rocked the world.
Well, you're like, who is that?
Yeah,
like, we all know Johnny Depp, but who's that?
I know.
Yeah.
Forget about Johnny Depp.
Right.
I mean, I was at the theater with my grandma. She was 83 at the time, and we went to see Pirates 1, and it was just like, I don't know if I'd ever seen a more beautiful woman. I was just in awe of her beauty.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think that might be the first time that I really took notice of her. I think she was, in Bend It Like Beckham, which I believe was before Pirates, because she was much younger, and she was a cute girl.
Yeah.
I mean, really cute, obviously. But then we saw her come onto the scene kind of as a woman, and she was just, if you didn't want to be her boyfriend, you wanted to be her. So
Right, yeah. And so, lucky as I am, I've married my wife.
You married?
And, Keira Knightley's down here now.
Right.
But I just remember at 16, it was just, wow, she's gorgeous. And so let's do this before we dive in. Give me your Keira Knightley top three.
My top three Keira Knightley movies. Okay, so I think for sure, Bend It Like Beckham, just because
that's your number one.
No, not number one. Like
Okay.
These are just my top three that I really remember. Well, there might be four. Okay, let's put that one aside.
Okay.
I really remember first seeing her in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And then Imitation Game, which I just watched recently, but was phenomenal.
It's good.
It was a really, really, really good movie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Love Actually, because
I think she
I'm
was
a girl.
nominated for an Oscar.
If she wasn't,
for
she
her
should
role
have
in
been.
Imitation Game.
If she wasn't, she should have been. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And then Love Actually, because I'm a girl and I'm a Christmas baby, so I love all the Christmas movies. So that one was really cute. I like that too.
Okay.
What are yours?
For me, I would say number one, like far and away number one, Pride and Prejudice.
Oh.
Yeah. She's really good in Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice just is a good story anyway. So.
Yeah. And this is something you and I both have been taking a deep dive into Keira Knightley. She is the queen of period pieces.
Right.
I mean, I don't think you could find me an actress who's better at period pieces. She's done over a dozen.
Really?
Yeah. If you include the Pirates franchise,
Arthur,
which I would. Yeah. King Arthur, Pride and Prejudice. She's just the top of the game when it comes to period pieces.
She's good.
But Pride and Prejudice would be number one for me. Number two would be Pirates 1. I do love that movie. I got a little bit, after 2, 3, 4.
Got a little bored.
What are we at, like Pirates 12 now?
Yeah, who knows?
It just kind of gets a little bit old, but that would be my number two. My number three would be Imitation Game.
Okay.
I do love that movie. And number four, honorable mention, I would say, would be Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah.
But I will say, Bend It Like Beckham was not Keira's best. We're talking about her appearance.
Right.
It's interesting to me because she kind of came onto the scene with Bend It Like Beckham when a little bit boyish, really short hair, kind of a bowl cut, resurfaces in Pirates 1. It's like night and day transformation.
Right. But even in her earlier films, well, I mean, obviously Bend It Like Beckham, she was a kid. I mean, she really was a kid. But even I read in Love Actually, I think she was 17 when she filmed that, which is, crazy to me because we're looking at her like this beautiful woman. She was a kid. She was such a kid, but so gorgeous.
Yeah. So speaking of her as a kid, let's put an image on the screen right now of her at 10. So Melissa, nurse injector extraordinaire, This Is Your Life, How People Look, What Do They Do? I mean, what do you see at 10? The natural, obviously, this is before any sort of thing she'd ever done by far. What do you see that she has naturally at the age of 10?
So naturally at the age of 10, she just has really pretty bone structure. I mean, she's got these high, very full cheekbones, and she's got kind of this squarer jaw that is really sort of attractive on women, even though it's not maybe the ideal beauty. I think you get occasionally those women like Angelina Jolie, Keira Knightley, where it's just so strikingly beautiful and in balance with the rest of their features that it works.
Yeah, and that jawline, I mean, obviously she's 10 here, but that jawline that you're talking about, the real strong jawline, is something that people ask us for all the time now. It's
definitely.
Like, give me that
Yeah.
that real sharp line.
Right, but I feel like, and you can speak to this from kind of your perspective as a man, but I feel like it has to be, to work on a woman, has to be very much in balance with the rest of their features. It has to look like it belongs with your face.
Yeah.
So you have to have some sort of like other piece of really strong femininity.
Right.
That goes with it.
And I think in order for it to work, what you're saying, femininity, you need fullness in the cheeks for it to work.
Right.
Because if you're kind of gaunt and you just have a sharp jawline, it does look a little bit masculine.
Right.
Obviously, she's 10.
Right.
And she's beautiful for a 10-year-old.
Cutie pie, yeah.
She has, all the characteristics that we came to know and love at 20.
Right.
This is in 1995. And so then the next photo that we have is her in Bend It Like Beckham. We mentioned a little bit boyish here. I would never guess that a few years later she's going to come on the scene in Pirates 1 and be like a beauty queen based on Bend It Like Beckham.
So I disagree with you on that.
Really?
I really do. I think when you look at her in her teenage years, it's where she's got that really full, youthful face that is, and her features are perfectly in balance.
Gotcha.
Just in terms of, she's so thin, she has that potential to kind of go too gaunt in the face. And here is just where she's looking like you can just tell she's going to be a gorgeous woman. Yeah. That's my opinion on that. I think maybe the hair.
I think that the hair fit the movie because in the movie, obviously she's super sporty. I don't think she's going for the beauty queen look in Bend It Like Beckham.
No, she's athletic in the movie.
Right. And so it wouldn't have necessarily been a good fit.
Right.
So, like we said, the next time we really see her on the scene is in Pirates 1.
Right.
And Pirates 1 was released in 2003.
Okay.
And so she was born in 1982.
82?
I believe 82.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And so, wait, maybe
85.
not. Okay, yeah, you're right. 85. You're right, 85. So at this point, she was 18.
Okay.
So 18 years old, objectively doesn't look 18.
Right.
What do you see in this photo from Pirates 1?
So in Pirates 1, she's definitely slimmed through the face, I think. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What is sort of her height of...
Okay, so
beauty?
Her pinnacle of beauty to me is Pirates 2.
Okay.
And we're going to get to that photo next. I mean, Pirates 2, she is objectively gorgeous.
Okay, so let's skip forward. I want you to tell me about Pirates 2.
Sure. And what I see on Pirates 2, I see more fullness in the face. She's got it going on in Pirates in Pirates 2. What I see from her though, and this is something that she said, and I want to talk a little bit about this, but she has denied doing any sort of cosmetic surgery.
Right.
But when you look at the photos, what you see when you compare new and old photos is I actually think she's had a rhinoplasty.
I do too. Okay, I was really, I mean, when we're deep diving people. Yeah. So I definitely was looking, and you can do some really incredible things with makeup and highlighting, and obviously these artists that work on them are incredible, but I do see a lot of narrowing kind of through the bridge of the nose there with her.
Yeah. And we can do a little bit with filler on the nose. We don't like to do it. It's not something we recommend, but this to me is more than any sort of masking with filler. I mean, this is just a reduction in volume on the nose. And
clearly, we are all for that.
Oh, for sure.
So this is.
I think it's awesome. And
I think it's great.
I mean, to me, in Bend It Like Beckham, that's the biggest change in her look. I think that was pre-rhinoplasty. Pirates 2 was post-rhinoplasty. And you see how much it enhances her look. It just makes her look more sharp, a little bit more sleek. I think that's one of the biggest reasons she's as beautiful as she is.
But it's also so subtle. She still looks so much herself that we're even debating if it happened or not. Which
it's not a Michael Jackson nose, where it's like a little tiny.
Right. Always our goal, obviously, that you still look exactly like yourself and just kind of a better version. Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, you look at Pirates 2. I think it's just astounding the volume that she has in through the cheek complex.
Whether she was a little bit, had a little more weight on her all over, which obviously her frame can handle because she's so thin anyway. But that does tend to show in our faces, which, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We always want our faces fuller as we age and our bodies slimmer, and we weren't necessarily designed like that, but somehow here she's sort of reached that perfect kind of oval shape for a woman. I also think in the particular picture that we're looking at, she's got a really nice palette of color going on. So her hair is lighter, her skin is tanner.
That's true.
And so overall, she just has a warmth to her where she has a tendency to get a little edgy.
That's what life on the high seas will do to you. I mean, she's been with Jack Sparrow and what's Orlando? Will Turner for months and months on the high seas.
SPF. She looks good now. Later, it's going to catch up with her. SPF.
Yeah. So let's go to Keira in 2008. And we see from Pirates 2, which I believe came out in 2005, to 2008, we see a huge change in her look just in those 3 short years.
Right.
What are you seeing in this photo?
So I see a lot of volume loss under the eyes and through sort of the mid-face.
Yeah.
So I feel like where her bone structure supported a little bit more fullness in the face really well, when she loses weight, as you can tell she's really thin in that picture, it tends to show in her face. And is that what you would think too?
Yeah, I think so. You see kind of a gauntness starting to develop under the cheek, under the cheekbone. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, definitely.
Where it just really drops off. What do you think about her tear troughs?
I think that it's hard to say with the makeup if it's more related to the fact that they've done a smoky eye on her and maybe she doesn't handle a smoky eye. But I think this is where she would really do well with that blonder hair and a little bit of tan.
Yeah.
Not real tan, fake tan, just to sort of even out that skin tone and not look quite so edgy.
Right.
But yeah, I think that a little bit of under eye filler and a little bit of mid face filler would actually look really pretty on her right there.
And all of this is completely normal. It's not.
Totally.
I get filler, you get filler. It's just a scientific fact that starting even at 21, it's like there's a needle poking a grape. And we start to just lose slowly the volume and the hydration in the face starting at 21. By 30, we're actually losing this, I'll tell the folks at home, we're losing a teaspoon of volume per decade after 30. So everything that we're seeing on her is completely normal.
Completely normal. And in fact, accelerated probably by stress. She's a major face out there. So stress and lifestyle and the fact that she's naturally thin, those ectomorph kind of people tend to need a little more filler, a little more volume added back in.
And this is something that we'll see, she says a little bit later. But let's show one more image just for contrast. I want to show, again, her as a teenager, 15 or 16 years old. And then, so we have that on the screen. And then simultaneously, I want to show, let's go with her in January of 2019.
January 2019.
So what are you seeing? This is just 3 months ago, a few months ago. What are you seeing in January of 19, her in her most current look compared to her as a teenager?
So again, for me, it's just as she's grown up and with her particular bone structure, she just has a tendency to look very wide in the face if that balance isn't quite there with all the ratios, the fullness in the mid face and then I just think on her the really pale skin and the dark hair is not as flattering as teenage Keira, where she was kind of golden blonde and athletic looking and tan. It just looks healthy. So that's what I'm seeing. How about you? What do you?
I still see a lot of volume potential in her cheek complex. I would like to add more, though. I guess that would be my question for you, though. I see great lip volume. Her lips are incredible there. If she's sitting in front of you, this photo here, what do you tell her as her nurse injector?
As her nurse injector, I'm going to say let's go for a little bit of blending around the under eye and cheek, and just kind of fill this out a little bit. Help her to look just a little more awake, because she's getting kind of hollow through the under eye. And that's really, and then probably blend a little bit through this part. Actually, now this is something I'm just thinking. She's sort of intimated that, life in front of the camera is stressful for her. And I feel like she's gotten a little bit fuller down here in the masseter area. I wonder if she holds a lot of tension or grinds her teeth. I would ask her, do you grind your teeth at night? Do you have any jaw pain? Because we can use Botox in here to kind of slim that jawline down a little bit and just kind of put things back in balance for you.
Right.
So that's probably what I would ask her. And as
recently as 2015, we know that she's not using Botox. So I have an image that we can put on the screen of her. This is late 2018, but actually, sorry, it wasn't 2015. It was when this photo came out. She was asked if she uses Botox, and I totally believe her because if you look at this image, she's clearly not using Botox. She said that I don't use Botox, but I don't hold it over anybody's head that does want to use Botox or filler or anything like that. And so I believe that she's pretty natural at this point.
I think she is. And I mean, she's doing well. She's gorgeous. So let's just put that out there. This is for educational purposes. We think Keira is wonderful and pretty and doing so well. Yeah. But if she were in front of me, we would talk a little Botox and a little filler. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Keira Knightley. Any other final thoughts on Keira? What she's done, what she could do?
We want to see more. Keep doing it in those period pieces. I got to go watch Pride and Prejudice now.
Yeah.
What are you going to watch now?
I think, so I was talking to my wife about what's her favorite Keira Knightley movie, and she said The Duchess.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I know. And so I'm gonna rewatch that one, probably with her this weekend.
Nice.
But that was her number one.
Great.
And so, yeah, but I'm a huge Keira Knightley fan.
Me too.
And I'm excited to see what she does with her look and with, her career in the future.
Right. Sounds good. This has been fun.
Yeah. Until next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Botalks.
Thank you.
See you soon.